All right, guys, woke up to some pretty big news coming out of the LEC today, so good morning, and we have stuff to talk about as always. Fnatic is a team that many people have been speculating about. Obviously, we still don't totally know what is going on with them. We still, are waiting for some bot lane changes, potentially. We know that Noah has been allowed to move on from the roster. Obviously, with Noah heading over to Giant X, that's going to leave a hole in the AD carry position. There's been some rumors and talks that June could potentially be out, too. June could also potentially return for next season. We don't totally know, but for Fnatic fans, after kind of a rocky 2024, obviously there was some highs, making finals, making worlds, doing a bunch of stuff, but ultimately coming up short in all the finals that they made, ultimately coming up short in worlds. People want some changes. There's people talking about management changes and coaching staff changes and all this different stuff. Seems like fans are pointing fingers all over the place. Everyone has a different idea of how to get Fnatic to return to their greatness. And all the different things that Fnatic should do in 2025. Well, today we did find out this official. This is from Sheep Esports on Twitter. Official head coach Nightshare will not continue with Fnatic next year in the LEC as announced by the coach. So obviously he announced this himself. He did put out a little bit of a statement. So I did want to go over this real quick, see what he had to say, and then I have a little bit of extra info to add of stuff that Wooloo told me. Nightshare says, "My time with Fnatic has come to an end after almost 2 years. Year one focused on building a competitive roster to reach top 3, and year 2 was supposed to further develop the infrastructure with plans to bring in both strategic and performance coaches. I put all my energy and sweat into the project, turning a struggling, broken team that no one was willing to join back then because of the risk into a consistent second place contender." Now, obviously, I'm sure a lot of the fans would argue that, hey, Fnatic, as an organization with their history and their prestige and everything, doesn't want to be a consistent second-place contender. They want to be a team that is, legitimately contending with G2, a team that is better than G2, at least sometimes, and then also goes to Worlds and does something. Fnatic's a team who has made, mini splashes at Worlds before, and obviously that's not what this current iteration of Fnatic has been doing as of late. Unfortunately, due to budget constraints, we couldn't hire a strategic coach, and the performance coach was only available for a short part of the year. So again, he's saying, hey, part of my plan, and he's kind of, throwing some shade and being like, hey, this is maybe why I couldn't be as good as I would have wanted, saying he wanted to bring in both strategic and performance coaches for this year, but saying due to budget constraints that this doesn't sound like it happened, or at least, the current Fnatic that we saw in 2024 wasn't the full Nightshare vision, which is obviously going to make the organization look pretty bad. So this is him definitely, taking some shots at Fnatic on the way out, which I do think is pretty interesting because obviously most of the time people will be like, hey, thanks to Fnatic for everything. We had a great 2 years. Hopefully I see you guys soon, that type of stuff. Because they don't want to burn bridges. They don't want to be known as the people who start drama. They don't want to be known as the people who kind of, are taking shots on the way out or whatever. So this is pretty interesting. This is actually pretty spicy with them. And yeah, like I said, this is going to rile fans up. People are going to be like, hey, what is going on with our budget? Why are we having these budget issues? Why, what's the point of spending however much money we're spending on a roster if you can't even get the infrastructure and the coaching and the support in place? Because we do know that rosters, these whatever teams, that it takes so much that goes into this thing to actually make a team function correctly and actually have a team be able to compete at the highest levels. So yeah, this seems like a pretty big oversight to not have, if this is all true. Obviously, this is just alleged from Nightshare. If this is all true, it seems like a pretty big oversight to not have those funds in place for strategic and performance coaches. Because I think most people would argue that those are very, very helpful, very useful, and that you would rather, spend a little bit less money on that roster and actually have a full the full coaching staff and infrastructure and everything in place. It's not just a coaching staff, it's all the other things that help as well. So again, Nightshare does say that this left a bittersweet taste and he couldn't realize his full vision for the project. Nonetheless, he's incredibly grateful to everyone who supported along this way, hoping to cross paths again, keep fighting, and let's see what the future holds. So that is his statement. Obviously, like I said, many Fnatic fans and just LEC fans in general, I'm sure, have opinions of how good or bad of a head coach Nightshare was or whether or not he should be returning for the 2025 season. I think a lot of people expected him to be out. I think a lot of people, wanted, whether they think Nightshare is a good or bad coach or whatever, just thought that Fnatic at the very least was ready to go in a new direction. Sometimes voices get stale. Sometimes you need somebody new to come in and kind of reignite, like with a new sound and just kind of get things going once again. But yeah, the comments you can see here, obviously, unfortunately, that the second biggest team in LEC has budget issues like that. So yeah, obviously, like I said, that is pretty strange. It does seem pretty weird, and it's also interesting, that he would come out and say this as well. But it does seem like Nightshare is out. Obviously, as the head coach of Fnatic, it'll be very interesting to see who they replace him with. I'm curious to see see who the fans want and who people will be excited and happy with, and if Fnatic's going to bring in somebody that people will actually be happy and excited with. Wooloo did tell me a couple more details about this. I asked him, hey, anything to talk about for Nightshare if I'm going to make this video. He says one interesting thing to note is they did have a chiropractor at Worlds, so apparently they did still have some of that kind of supportive staff and other staff and stuff like that. So they were spending some money on supportive stuff still. It's not like Fnatic wasn't spending any money at all, so I think that's at least good to hear. Kind of funny, chiropractor could be good, could be bad, I don't know. Seems kind of hopefully relaxing and helpful and everything. And then he also does tease a little bit that this is what Wooloo says, other staff changes than this one are coming too. Now again, I don't know exactly what that means. Fans are going to speculate about that. We'll have to wait and see, but it does sound like there could be more potential Fnatic news to come very, very shortly. Obviously now with Nightshare out, it seems like some of these changes and moves are starting to happen. Worlds is almost over. Again, we just have 1 week left of Worlds, and then we can really get into like that official offseason time where stuff can really get changing. But that is pretty much this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace. Everything we are doing here at Sheep Esports for the rest of 2024 is powered by Holy. This is an awesome company that makes great tasting energy drinks that also just so happen to be healthier than the competition as well. They sent me this starter set deluxe, which comes with a Holy shaker and then 14 individual servings of Holy Energy, Holy Hydration, and Holy Iced Tea. So you get a ton of awesome stuff for a great price. And if you want to get even better price, check out the first link in the description below. Use discount code SE5 to get €5 off your first order, or SE10 to get 10% off your entire basket. If you guys want to help continue to allow us to provide the amazing coverage of both Worlds and the offseason that you guys know and love, definitely check out Holy, buy some stuff. It would mean the world to us. Thanks.